Get to the morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jodie and Hayesy on Nova.
Hey, Jodes, can we talk about one of the most influential and powerful and just flawless men on the planet? Of course, that is Joe Biden. Never stuffs up.
So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done.
Let's go lick the world, indeed.
Lick the world. That should be our motto for the weekend as we head into Gather Round. Let's go lick it.
Let's go give it a good lick. Seriously, type in Joe Biden gaff. And, oh, my gosh, hours and hours of entertainment.
Beautiful.
The man knows how to stuff up a speech. What about this, though? Journalists have been told to stop stealing souvenirs from US President Joe Biden's official aircraft. So an inventory check on Air Force One after Mr. Biden's visit to the US West Coast a couple of months ago found several items were missing from its press section. People just taking a couple of little souvenirs. Branded pillowcases, glasses, gold rim plates are among the items that allegedly vanished from the jet.
I have to say, if I was a journalist following Joe Biden around and I was on his private jet, I'd be very, very tempted.
Absolutely.
Just to take something.
And given Joe Biden is as alert as he is, I reckon you could steal his teeth and he wouldn't know. And he'd mutter some absolute nonsense.
Joe's just walking around making gummy speak for 2 weeks. He's like, did someone take my teeth? Hurt
God
my
bless
head.
America. Let's give it a good old lick. 13 24 10. What special little souvenir did you steal?
And when we don't condone thievery.
Absolutely not. But you feel like most people have been in a situation where, like, do you know what? I might not get back here. This is a really special occasion. I want to remember it forever.
Absolutely.
Or maybe you were being genuinely thrifty.
13 24 10, give us a call if you've maybe sampled something that perhaps you shouldn't have.
I used to make it a bit of a habit back in the day. I thought it was really, really cool, particularly when you're sort of 19 or 20. You think it's awesome to have alcoholic merchandise around your house, your shared house.
That is a thing, isn't it?
Jeez, we collected some bar mats.
Did you?
Across the journeys, yeah.
Bar mats?
So they used to be genuinely like towel. So it'd be like Two Is New or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then they turned into those fancy mats, the ones that sort of half stick on the bar.
Yes.
So you'd have to put them down your trousers. And then you get home and you have a little bar mat and you put that in the front kitchen and you're like, oh, this is so cool. Look at all that beer merch. Oh, look, there's like a rum poster in the background. Oh, your lads. So lonely, yeah.
What was that like? What was that feeling like when you woke up in the morning and you had a bar mat stuffed down the front of your pajamas?
Not very good.
No.
Not very good for things down there.
No.
I suppose the plus side was that no one else was ever really seeing it though, were they?
No.
When you were sort of going down that direction.
Yeah, not in your case. I mean, did you think you were going to pick up with a bar mat down the front of your pants?
No, I was pretty confident nothing was going to happen. So
Might as well.
it was a safe bet.
Might as well go home with something.
13 24 10. What special little souvenir did you steal?
Good morning, Bonnie. What did you sample, shall we say?
Morning. It's not actually myself, it's my father, my dad. Every single footy trip, he's come home with a bar stool from a pub out in the out in the smoking area.
Excellent.
So we've got 4 different bar stools from 4 different pubs in Adelaide.
Your dad's look, we've never met your dad, but we can absolutely know right now that he's a beautiful, perfect man.
Bonnie, can you please explain to me how he subtly steals a bar stool from a pub?
Honestly, no idea, but I do remember once when I was young and I had a girlfriend over for a sleepover and Mum was like, oh, we got to go pick Dad up, like he's at the pub. And we were in the back seat and he legit put the bar stool on top of our lap.
That's perfect.
That is amazing.
That's absolutely perfect.
They don't match though, do they, Bonnie? They're all different?
No, surprisingly, they actually all match. He's done well.
Yeah, wow.
That's outstanding. Thank you, Bonnie.
It's a real life tale of Robin Hood, isn't it?
Yeah, 13 24 10. Give us a call this morning. What have you perhaps taken from somewhere that you shouldn't have?
Talking about what's happened on the flight, the official aircraft of Joe Biden. Joe Biden, what an absolute spiritual leader he is. Never stuffs up.
I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly.
Great. Thanks for that, Joe.
Joe.
Made no sense whatsoever, but Joe Biden.
I think sometimes you do get to a point, though, where you get to an age where you forget how old you are.
Yeah.
That's universal to all of us.
Joe Biden's like 80s, high 80s, 90s, 100s, 110s.
Oh, I think is he 70s or 80s? 80s. 80s, okay.
Off the back of journalists stealing all sorts of things from his aircraft. 13 24 10, your special little souvenirs that you've pocketed over the journey.
Yes, we've just heard from a beautiful girl who said that her dad has stolen 4 different bar stools from 4 different pubs and they all match.
That's good. That's beautiful.
Isn't it? Brad, what have you perhaps sampled?
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Good.
So it was actually my brother. It was the same thing, pubs around Adelaide, and he used to take wherever he went, restaurants as well, just their salt and pepper shakers.
Okay.
I don't know why. He ended up with some that were not even fancy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Brad, you need salt and pepper shakers for every room of the house.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
good.
much. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was nuts.
Especially when you're as obsessed with salt as I am.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Donna, what have you sampled?
Good morning. I've had this little weird addiction that whenever I stay in a Airbnb or a hotel, I have to take something with me, like a flannel or a fridge magnet or a steak knife or something like that.
Wow.
Are you scared, Donna, it's going to be like a gateway little obsession where eventually you start stealing, the couch and then it's a fridge and then you steal the entire house?
I probably would if I could fit it in my car.
Yeah. The last time I went to our place that we rent as an Airbnb, I couldn't find my peeler, my vegetable peeler. Donna, did you stay with us?
No, I've never taken a vegetable peeler
Right,
before,
okay. Okay, well, that's a relief. Thank you, Donna. Let's go to Sean. Good morning, Sean.
I said 24 Guinness glasses.
Yeah.
So that was just sort of a beginning.
Yep.
But yeah, I had this, it started with a couple and then I put them on my shelf. I'm like, well, now it's an odd number.
Yes.
So now I've got to get 6, right? Then after I got 6, I'm like, well, if I have 6, if one breaks, that's going to be an odd number. So I went to 12.
Yep.
And then I went, well, if I get 12, if I have 24, it's a nice number.
Yeah.
So I went to that number.
Okay.
But my defense, right, is each glass is like $13 a glass, and I know it only costs $4.
Yep.
I serve Guinness as well.
Yeah.
So my defense is that every 10 that I buy, I get a glass. I think that's fair.
Spot on. So it's actually making a little bit of money back.
Sean, okay, so have you stopped now? Are you happy with 24? What happens if you lose
Yeah.
one and you've only got 23?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
Sean, thank you so much. It was a weekend of pee and wee for both of us. Let me explain that a little bit further, shall I?
Yes.
So firstly, my 4-year-old wandered into the kitchen yesterday morning as I was cooking breakfast and said, Mum, I need to go to the toilet. Take me to the toilet. And because she starts school literally next week, we're trying to go, no, you don't need Mum or Dad or your sisters to take you to the toilet. You're going to have to do it by yourself at reception, so you need to start to learn. And she sits on the floor, and I'm like, I thought I'll just ignore this little tantrum that's happening and go back to my eggs and bacon. Anyway, next minute I look over because she's sitting there for an extraordinary amount of time for a little kid that wanted to go to the toilet.
Oh, no.
Great big puddle of wee.
Oh, no, making a genuine puddle.
But making a real statement. Like, if you're not going to take me to the toilet, I'm just going to be on the floor.
The statement wees are the big ones, aren't they?
Yeah, aren't they?
They're the ones with plenty behind them.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And then I call you on the way home and you're having similar sort of wee trouble.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Particularly dealing with toddlers.
Yes.
We're in the process now where Lottie's very selective with her toilets.
Okay.
So then maybe it'd be the same sort of thing. She's very good at going to the toilet.
Yeah.
But doesn't like to wean things that she's not familiar with.
Yeah, right.
So there's one of those, those 2000s, Lou, the electronic ones.
Oh, the ones that
There's
you
one
have to
at
push the
Queen
button
Street.
to open. Oh, yeah.
And it's like, estimated time, 10 minutes. She doesn't like to look at that one.
Right.
She doesn't like to look at that one. So we had to negotiate with her. She went to do a bush wee, but she's not very good at squatting down.
Yeah.
So at one stage I looked over and she's genuinely weeing on herself.
Oh,
and I was
no.
like, let's keep this between me and you, Lottie, not tell Mum. Because Daddy get in trouble. And also at one stage she's doing it and there's a bunch of people walking towards us.
Oh,
I'm going,
no.
all right, Lottie. While she's doing a wee like a genuine drunk person.
Did you have any toilet paper?
No.
Oh, no.
So that was that was a side issue that I was willing to deal with.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then you're at the park and Lottie decides to help herself to someone else's cake.
Yeah, the life lessons, isn't it? Because there's a park attached to a park at Queen Street,
Yeah.
and quite often great place for a little birthday party. So Lottie said, I'm just going to pop next door because I want a piece of cake from that birthday party. And you got to go, no. You can't just turn up. You can't just cruise around the neighbourhood looking for birthday parties to get your cake fixed.
No, exactly. And then, and this was the piece de resistance, I heard you actively in real time gaslight your 3-year-old as you're trying to extricate her from the park.
Put your hand up if you've got toddlers and you have to gaslight them to get what you want out of them. Jodie's hand shoots right up. So Lottie had said, I want to stay at the park. I feel like we've been there for about 2 days as it was.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God, parks are excruciating, aren't they?
gosh.
They're so boring.
To which I had to say, right, we have to go home. We have to go home. She said, no, I want to stay at the park. And I said, right, here's your options. We can stay at the park, but if we stay here, we have to stay here for the rest of our lives. Okay? And if we stay here for the rest of our lives, you'll never see Mum again. You'll never see the cat ever again. And we'll never get to go back home. And then what will we eat, Lottie? What are we going to eat? I said, look, what about over in the car? Dogs always poo over in the corner over there. So we could eat that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what we're going to drink. We'll have to drink out of the dog blubber as well.
So you
And then she came around.
effectively said, we can stay at the park, but we'll have to stay here forever. And then I just hear this little 3-year-old voice in the background going, I want to go home now.
Sure, okay, let's go home then.
I went to the Thunderbirds game on Saturday night and at halftime, as you do, just went for a little whittle in the toilet.
Yeah,
Okay?
sure.
So I was sitting in the cubicle and there was a woman next to me who obviously had taken her, I'd say, little toddler, little girl to the toilet. It was very quiet in there. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like me, her and one other person. So really quiet.
Yeah.
And then next minute, I hear this little voice go, Mummy, you've got a lot of hair on your vagina.
There was no way that I could have predicted you were going to say that. I was like, oh, where are we going with this? And then bang.
And then I could hear the mother just like awkwardly, like, oh, shh, darling, shh. Anyway, as it happens, we both flushed and walked out at the same time. And because at that point I had the giggles and she saw me laughing, I was like, oh, interesting toilet conversation there. She looked at me and she was so embarrassed. She was like, oh, yeah. Da-da-da. Turns out I knew the woman, actually. And then we started talking about how we knew each other. But she was so mortified. And I was retelling this story to producer Em, and you had something similar with your toddler.
I did. So another Saturday too, it must happen on Saturdays, we were at swimming and I had to take him solo. So I had to get changed after swimming out of my bathers, but I also had to go to the toilet. I was like, all right, come on, Max, let's go. So he's 2.5 and he's learning to go to the toilet. So he's learning the proper names for things.
Yep.
So take my one piece off, not attractive at all, but I'm in there trying to get it done, go to the toilet and stand up, start getting dressed, and he just points and he goes, Mummy, you have a penis. And I was, in the loudest voice possible.
I knew it.
And I quickly go, no. Mummy has a vagina.
Yeah.
Boy, Daddy's got a penis.
Yeah.
No, Mummy, you have a penis. And so I'm out of there as quickly as I can, pull my stuff on, get out of there. And once again, you go out and there is another mum there with kids and she just kind of goes,
It's an awkward laugh.
I tried to correct him. It's so embarrassing.
I got this from a really good source, actually. You took Henry to the toilet one day and he pointed to you and said, Daddy, isn't that supposed to be where your penis is?
He said, Dad, where's your penis? I was like, what are you talking about, mate? It's there. No. Vagina. Kids, am I right? They know not what they say.
I really need a chit chat. Let's have a chit chat. It is so time for a chit chat.
Let's go, girls. Yes, this is where we download on all the stuff that's really annoying us women during the week. Abby from the newsroom, that would be everything for you.
Correct.
Yep. Producer Zoe.
Not so annoyed this week. I'm all right.
You okay? Yeah. All right. Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, so this is something that I haven't really spoken to you guys about, but I've been talking amongst friends about. And basically, a good friend of mine, she is single. She hasn't found her person yet. And she is having tests to basically become a mum. She's going to do it on her own.
Right.
Single mum.
Right.
Now, every time my sister has brought this up twice with me and said, why don't you look at freezing your eggs? I'm 34. Haven't found the one, haven't found who I'm going to settle down with. And it's funny because every time, the 2 times that she's brought it up, I get teary and I can't talk about it. And I think it's because at 34, you sort of go, I thought that I would be married. I thought that, at least I'd be married. I thought that I would have maybe had a kid by now, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway.
Do you feel pressure on that front?
Yeah, I think I do a little bit because I think we're sold this dream as children that when you grow up, you meet your person,
Yeah.
you go and have your own family, things like that. And I think that as much as I go, you know, hats off to the women who do it and who are single parents or go and do it on themselves. But for me, and I've spoken about it before, mentally I don't think I'm strong enough to bring a child into this world on my own. I've got such an amazing support network. I really, really do. And I know that they would be there for me. But also I think you look and you go, I want to bring my kids up in a family unit.
Yeah.
But today, I just sort of thought I'd love to hear from people, 13, 24, 10. Have you done this? Have you frozen your eggs? Have you gone down the path of having kids on your own? Are you thinking about it?
Yeah. Well, two things here. Firstly, you can do it. You're you're one of the strongest people I know, and you're really fierce. And if you want to have a baby on your own, then I have no doubts in my mind that that's absolutely what you can do. And secondly, this is so common now. I know of so many people that are just going, well, you know what? I haven't found the knight in shining armour. I haven't found that guy that we're sold as little girls. So I'm just going to do this by myself because I want children.
Yeah.
So, it's a really interesting conversation. We'd love to hear from anyone who's gone down this path or anyone who's contemplating it. 13 24 10, give us a call.
The other thing to talk about as well is I think even blokes do it as well. You have a timeline in your head of where you think things are supposed to be. And I would say maybe 90% it doesn't add up. Whether it's like by 25 I should be doing this, and by 30 I should be married, and by this I should be having this. And then I don't think you do it on purpose as well. And when it doesn't add up, maybe you feel like you're failing.
Yeah.
But you're definitely not. Everyone's definitely just got different journeys.
It's funny because I'm 34, I'm so old, and I have that mentality, and that's not a good thing to think of. And then you speak to women who are in their 40s and they all, oh, you're such a baby, you're so young. And there's me going, oh my God, I'm 34, life's over. And it's not at all.
Well, I had my last child at 44. So, you just never know what's around the corner. But I will say this, life's not linear. Life isn't a carbon copy of that dream that we're sold. So you don't know what's around the corner for you. But if you want to pursue this path, I know you can do it.
Yeah.
13 24 10, we'd love you to join the conversation this morning. Are you taking your own reproduction into your own hands?
Chick chat.
We are chicks and we are chatting. This
Interesting topic this morning.
Yeah. So we're talking about Newsreader Abbey here potentially freezing her eggs because you haven't found your person.
No, I haven't, not yet. No.
So,
a few friends are starting to go down that path of looking at doing it on their own, and then my sister's brought up a few times about me freezing my eggs, and I get really emotional about it. So, I need to really think about in the next few years doing this, I think.
So how old are you again?
34.
34. Okay. Still plenty of time.
I know.
Let's go to Ellen. Hey, Ellen.
Morning, guys. How you going?
Yeah, we're good, thank you. You're on your own with kids?
Yes. So you're only going to get words of encouragement from me. My eldest is 19, so I have 3 children on the spectrum. My eldest is 19. I've done all 3 on my own. I did have children young, though, but when my eldest was born, I was on my own. It was just my mum was with me in the delivery room. He finished high school last year and has now moved overseas for his dream job. So I suppose for me, I don't necessarily believe you need both a mother and a father to, for bringing up children. If you have a great support system in place and I suppose you already know that you're going to do it on your own, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a good point you make.
Your kids will be fine. My son's, he's flourishing. Like, he was top 12 for his ATAR last year. He's halfway around the world, dream job, no uni, nothing. And I think he had that support system, not only with myself and my family, but at school as well, which really helped. But us women, we can do anything when we put our minds to it.
So
and
true.
You'll get days where you're like, oh, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it on my own.
Yep.
But you just brush yourself up, pick yourself up, and just keep going.
Yeah.
So you've got this.
Love that, Ellen. Thank you.
Well spoken,
That's
Ellen.
really
Good job,
nice.
Ellen.
And that's a really important point she makes as well. You've got a great family support system and also Tank and Tori, 2 sausage dogs.
Yeah. Very, very loud at times, but that's always very positive, that reinforcement from them.
And let's be honest, I've kept Tank alive for 9 years, so surely a baby's not that hard.
Yeah, that's true. Tank's been through some stuff.
He has, hasn't he?
Was it Tank or Tori that got hit by the car and then ended
Tank. And then couldn't walk.
That back
Anyway,
thing
moving
going.
on.
I called you Newsreader Zoe. Producer Zoe. You've got thoughts on this, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm only 25, so I'm that bit younger that kids aren't on the radar for me just yet. But for me, I've made up my mind that I don't want children unless I fall in love with someone who would really like children, and then I think it would be nice to create something with them. So for me, I wouldn't even consider freezing my eggs because I know I wouldn't do it alone.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's not because I don't think I could or that people shouldn't. I was raised by a single mum, and you absolutely don't need a dad in your life, 100%, or the two parents. So you could totally do it, abs. Just personally, I just wouldn't.
What makes you so adamant that you don't want kids?
It's partly selfish. I want to live my life for me. I watched my mum give up her entire life for me, and I'm grateful for it, but I don't want to do that for someone else, which is selfish, but it's just the way it is. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that I have the capacity to raise someone else.
You've spent some time with Lottie Hayes, haven't you?
I hung out with Lottie Hayes once and it was over.
She's a lot. She sucks the life out of you. Bless her.
Bless her.
Beautifully, though.
Yeah, in the best way.
Yes, when you look back at it after a couple of Chardonnays, for sure. Yeah. We can continue the conversation as well via text 0400 919 919. But everybody called through this morning. Thank you so much, and well done. Some really, really good opinions and some very, very nice words, Abbey.
Thanks for everyone who called in and commented. I appreciate it.
Not easy to be vulnerable on the radio like that, so
It's
we
not.
really appreciate
No
it.
tears yet, so that's good.
Yeah. Watch this face.
I'll break you. Don't worry, at some point.
Oh, boy. This is live audio of Jodie just visiting the dentist, getting smashed with a drill.
Yeah, well, I went to the dentist yesterday, and in the lead up, sort of the 45 minutes before, I started getting really anxious because I know that each and every time I go to the dentist, they will ask you the same question. Do you floss?
And then your eye starts twitching.
Yeah. And I have to look down at the floor and I'm like, yeah, sometimes, and your voice goes really high pitched like that. Yeah, I do. And I knowing full well I'll probably floss once every 6 months.
And the best part is they go, okay, well, let's just test it.
Let's have a look.
And then they floss you, and then you literally hit them in the face with blood. As it's squirting in their face, like, are you sure you say you floss? Because all signs point to no.
Because as far as gum health goes, your gums are awful. So they purely know that you're lying to them every single time. And it just got me thinking about this on 13, 24, 10. Do you have a job where you know that people are just going to lie to your face all the time?
Yeah.
I would love to hear from you. And what's that like and how do you respond?
Yeah. So anyone else who works in the media, give us a call.
Yeah, why are we talking about ourselves here?
That's what it feels like, doesn't it?
When your program director goes, that was a really great show today. Liar!
A really great show. Well, then why is your nose bleeding? What's going on here? Why is there steam coming out of your ears?
Have you been in that situation?
Yeah, I did a little bit of coaching as soon as I finished football.
Yeah.
And that's a tricky situation because you've got to be a hard ass.
Yeah.
And I found out the hard way that you've got to be brutal because if you're not, and you tell blokes and they go, how are we going? Am I close? Am I close to playing? And you go, no, you're close.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've said that to 10 to 15 blokes. And they all think that they're about to play league footy the next week.
Yeah.
And they're not. So I got to the stage where that was one of the reasons why I quit. Couldn't do
really?
it because of the harsh conversations.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely fake. And then they go, well, you told me this, this and this. And I was like, well, I was trying to be a good guy.
That's really tricky. It would like being a media manager at a football club, wouldn't it? Just like to be, no, he'll play this week. BS.
Yeah.
He ain't playing.
He ain't playing. He's carrying his arm.
Yeah, he's carrying his arm.
Hayesy, is that what the Bulldogs used to say to you?
Yeah, big time. They're like, it's not us. It's not you. It's us.
Yeah.
We can't make this work. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
We
As I struck it out
can't
of there.
accommodate someone of your talent in our side. It's just impossible.
You know what? You're too good. You're too good to play for us. Okay.
All right.
Struck it away.
13 24 10. Do you work in a job where people will lie? Just having a chat about lying to your dentist on the regular when you go back and they go, do you floss? And you're like, yeah, I do.
Your dentist is going to be shocked to hear this as well.
I know. You said you went to the dentist and you used to floss twice a day and he was still like,
I went the other way. I used to get obsessed with flossing. Not so much now for whatever reason. I don't know why. I've got no excuses anyway. That's what the dentist says. And he said, make sure you start flossing. I said, I floss twice a day.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, hang on. And then he flossed for me and there was no blood. And he was like, oh, you do. So I just wonder how much difference flossing actually makes.
Yeah. So 13, 24, 10, let's do this. Do you work in a job where people just regularly lie to you? One of the examples we were just talking about off air is the charity people in supermarkets.
Yes.
Oh my God, they must hear every excuse in the book for people not to stop.
Yeah, you walk past and you're like, I got no oats. Who said that? Can't see. I got to go this way. You just wouldn't even say anything towards the end of it. The other one as well, Jodie, is haircuts.
Oh.
I've had some awful haircuts.
Oh, yeah.
You happy with that? I'm absolutely happy with that. Thank you very much.
I'm so thrilled. I'll be back here again to pay for my $15 haircut. That looks truly dreadful.
I'm accidentally going to shave my head tonight.
Let's go to Jackie from Harndorf. Good morning, Jackie.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. Okay. What's your job and what are people lying about?
I work in human resources across many aspects.
You would have heard some stuff.
I've heard a few goodies. Yeah, get lots of stories of people that can't come to work and reasons why.
Yeah.
I think the best one I've had is when a family member has passed away and then 6 months down the track, the same family member has passed away.
Yeah, very good. Incredible. Real weekend at Bernie's type situation.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, very much.
Yes, my grandma died. Oh, but then she was reincarnated. It was incredible. But then she had to die again.
How many grandmas do you have? 3.
Thanks, Jackie. Let's go to Luke.
Hey, how you going?
Good. What's your job and what are people lying about?
Okay, I'm an audiometrist, so I do hearing aids.
Yes.
And they say, have you been wearing your hearing aids? They go, yeah, I've been wearing them all the time. And you connect it to the computer and it says how many hours a day they've been wearing them. And you go, okay. The other thing is wax. So have you used cotton bud in your ear? Because the wax is pushed really deep in the ear.
Yeah.
And they say no. And you know that's definitely a lie because wax doesn't grow where they've put it.
And I'll tell you why they're doing that, Luke, because the old cotton bud in the ear, you know you're not supposed to be doing it to get your wax out. But, geez, it feels nice.
Feels real nice.
It pushes all the buttons.
I do it regularly.
It gets that dog leg going when you get that right straight across.
It just doesn't it? That special twitch. You bloody legend,
Luke, thank you so much.
Jodie, you know I love love.
You love love.
How good's love?
Also, you love a good wedding. I've never known a man to be so enamoured by
Good
going
food.
to a wedding.
Good music, good people, all gathered together. What could be better than that?
So good.
Best day of your life. And we're very lucky we get to celebrate a wedding right now, today.
Yes, and there is no one that we love more than camera guy Josh.
I love you guys.
Blushing. You're going to be a beautiful bride, Josh.
Thanks very much.
Josh and Marissa getting married today.
Oh, well done. Well done. Good. Hey, firstly, what up? You're working on your wedding day?
Yeah, no. I just had to get my mind off it.
Yeah.
You know? Everything kicks off after 10, but it's like, just come here and pretend like everything's normal, but I'm glad we're talking about it.
Dedication, mate. Dedication.
Yeah.
Hey, has everything been smooth so far?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, Marissa's done everything, so very easy.
Yeah.
Can we do this? And this is not supposed to be an omen or anything, but 13, 24, 10, what happened at the wedding? What was the unusual event that happened at the wedding? Because it's a day that on paper is always supposed to go smooth.
Yep.
But there's so many opportunities for it to veer off into different directions.
Yeah. Anything happened on your wedding day?
I remember, and I didn't tell my wife till after this because I knew that she would absolutely freak out.
Yep.
But we gave our dog to somebody else to look after that day. And then as I was on the way to the Barossa to go set up, I got a call saying, by the way, we were in North Adelaide and the dog has got off the lead and she is just absolutely run. She could be anywhere. We're not really sure. So I've turned around straight away and I'm at one stage driving down Memorial Drive and I see this little fluffy white dog going at 1,000 miles an hour just running along the side of the road. Found her, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Stopped her and she felt like a hummingbird. That's how quickly her heart was going.
Yeah, right.
Calmed her down and set her off in a different spot. A friend of a friend of a friend ended up looking after her that night. Didn't tell Cara on the wedding day because she would freak out at that.
Yeah, of course.
But that was almost an absolute disaster.
And then you and Indiana got married and lived happily ever after.
She was my second wife.
Definitely not the story.
Because you've had a couple of little cracks at this thing, Joe.
What do you mean, marriages?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Two smooth weddings?
You say it so flippantly. I do remember for my destination wedding in Bali, So the night before the wedding, we had one of the guests, and he was a friend of my husband's. And he was like an MMA kind of fighter.
Oh, classic. It's Jaden. It's Jaden from maths, isn't it?
No. But he sort of dabbled in that sort of stuff. And so in Bali, there's like a real underground fight scene.
Yeah.
And so the night before, he decided, like, had a few drinks, obviously, and decided to, like, tee up a fight.
Wow.
And so in the back streets of bloody Jimbaran Bay or wherever it was, he's had, like, this punch on and then turned up to the wedding. And, like, can you believe... Odd. I know. It's an odd story, but it happened.
And got the crap beaten out of him.
Yeah.
That's good, isn't it?
Black eye and everything?
All of it.
Oh, wow.
The whole works. Anyway, what happened to you? Nothing. Just a quiet night.
13 24 10. What happened at the wedding and what made it super memorable? Let's put it that way. I reckon Josh Morrow's going to cry when he sees his beautiful bride
Oh,
today.
you most definitely will.
100%.
Do you have any idea what she's wearing?
No idea.
Okay.
No idea at all.
Oh, my God. And the best
I reckon
part
it'd be a white wedding dress, wouldn't it?
Oh, my God. You're such a boy. Go away.
What do you mean, go away? Go press the buttons.
We're going to a wedding together.
13 24 10. What happened at the wedding? We'll take your calls next. We've got a wedding today for a beautiful man by the name of camera guy Josh, who's marrying the love of his life, the gorgeous Marissa. A little work party, which we're going to let our hair down at.
We're all very excited. We're like small children this morning.
Yeah, it's just those wedding sort of heavenly love vibe is about the air.
Yes, but we are taking your calls on disaster stories. 13 24 10. What happened at the wedding? Let's go to Deb. What happened, Deb?
Well, we had a beautiful wedding ceremony. Lovely day. Went back to the reception. And we had a band, we had big party atmosphere. 9 o'clock comes and we were doing speeches and my husband was looking very pale. And next minute somebody came to me and said that he had gastro, was vomiting, going to the toilet, had to leave the ceremony leave the reception at 9:30. And I stayed, danced the night away, had a great night, and then went back to the hotel room, the honeymoon suite, that was smelling like...
Oh, yuck. Oh, Jess.
So that was our honeymoon. That was our wedding day.
Yeah, right. Well, look...
But we're still married 15 years later.
Oh,
so.
Beautiful. I love that Deb's like, not going to let it roll.
I think, 100%, Deb. I think you made the right decision because, you've got to effectively play host. That's why.
Definitely. I had a great night. I had so much fun.
Hey, Deb, this happened, the last wedding I went to, which was my brother's, that happened to my husband. He got gastro halfway through. So the speeches were on and all you could hear from the toilets, which were in close proximity, is him like,
Oh, no.
13 24 10. What happened at the wedding? Let's go to Cindy.
The wedding was a number of years ago and we were probably the first of our friends to get married. So it had very much a party atmosphere about it.
Yeah.
Until we found probably 3 months later, 3 of our friends announced at the same time that they were pregnant.
Spot on.
And then we found out that all 3 were conceived at the wedding.
Perfect. Do you know what that means, Cindy? It means that the wedding was so good that everyone was so aggressively in the mood. That is exactly what you want from your wedding.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Cindy. What a great call. Let's hope that doesn't happen at our wedding this afternoon.
Yes. Look, my wife isn't going to the wedding.
No, so that would be bad, wouldn't it?
Maybe I'll be in the mood when I get home. Fortunately, it's going to be a solo party. There you go.